Hello wonderful guys back home. Hope you are good today. I am Adedayo. I'll be taking year 8 science. I will be continuing from where we stopped the last time. Remember we talked about living things, and under it we talk about the characteristic of living things, also known as their features, that are the properties they are made up of. Alright, remember that living things are things that they have life in them. Very good. You are a living thing, I am a living thing, animal and some plants, they all possess life. Very good. We talk about classification and we talk about the characteristic. And we talk about the characteristic of what makes to Ninjadi, and then I added some other characteristic for you. Movement, respiration, nutrition, among other characteristics we discuss about. Alright, quickly today we'll be looking at uses of plants and animals as typical living things around us. Alright, you wonder that why are we picking plants? Remember I told you that plants too are living things. They move, they breathe, and do other things you think you can do as a living thing. Alright, so quickly today we are looking at the uses of plants and animals. You know, we are animals. Humans, we are animals, but we are higher animals. We are known as primates. Why are we called higher animals? Because we have well-developed brain. Good. So today we'll go into the uses of plants and animals in our environment. Now, come with me as we write uses of plants and animals. Let's start with the uses of plants. Uses of plants. Now, you know, plants are things that have life. Now, plants have or serve numerous functions or uses. Now, the uses of plants include the following. Now, the uses of plants include, some are used as food. Some plants are used as food. Some plants are used as food for man and animal. That's correct. Some plants are used as food for man and animal. That means man can consume what we call known as vegetable. You can consume vegetable like your water leaf, and animals too can feed on grass known as hay. That is the plant or grass animal feed on, like your horse, donkey, and other animals. So this is one of the uses of plants. Now let's quickly look at another use of plants to man. For medical purposes. For medical purposes. That's correct. That is, on this platform, some plants are turned into herbs. They are turned into herbs and they are made into capsules or tablets, and that we use it for what? For curing diseases, sicknesses, among other functions they serve. Alright. Some plants are used for ornament and beautification. For ornament and beautification. Alright, when I talk about ornament, what am I talking about? Talking about things you wear to beautify your body, like your necklace, your ring, your wristwatch, and other things. So some plants are made into pendants, and they are used to beautify our body, our homes, and other things around us. So let's go to another function of plant, uses of plants. Some for ecotourism. Ecotourism simply means traveling from one place to another, especially when you are on holiday or vacation. This is mostly done by students or pupils in the school. So some plants are used for ecotourism, that they can make it into what? Into canoes, into boats, and people go on it and they travel on water from one place to another. Alright, let's quickly look at another uses of plants. Plants can also be used for making of what? For making of compost manure. For making of compost manure. Now, compost manure is just used as a subordinate in place of fertilizer. If fertilizer is not available, compost manure can be used, like your loamy soil. Example of compost manure, loamy soil. Right, the cow shit, that is the cow dung, the poo from the bum of the cow is also an example of compost manure. It can be used to plant. That is an example of what? Of compost manure. Some plants can decay, and once they decay, they rust and become mulch. That simply means they become so soft that they can be turned back to manure, and they'll be used to what? To plant other crops. Now, I will give you 7 uses, and then you give me more uses on your own. For making of compost manure, another use of plants for man and animal is for control of erosion. For control of erosion. For control of erosion. Don't forget, erosion is the washing away of topsoil by some particles. All right. Erosion is the washing away of topsoil by some particles. So some plants are used to control erosion, like a plant can be cut and be used to stop a particular erosion, water from flowing over a surface or so. All right. Another use of plants can be used for what? For mulching. For mulching. It can be used for mulching. That is, mulching simply means for the growing of what? Of crop plants. Now, I will stop on this point. It can be used, plants can also be used for what? For shelter. For shelter. That is, you know what shelter simply means? For the provision of what? Provision of what? Provision of homes. Provision of homes. Provision of what? Homes. Alright, now let's go to what? Uses of animals. Uses of animals. Uses of animals. Animals are creatures with 4 legs or more. Alright. Animals can be used for the following. Animals can be used for the following. Alright. Animals can be used for the following. Now, one of the uses of animal is that animal can be used for food. Yes, we can consume animals. You can eat, some animals like pig, some animals like ram, cow, they are used as food, like cow now provide us some meat, and then we consume it. All right. Animal can be used for leather work. For leather work. For leather work. For leather work. When I say for leather work, what am I talking about? For instance, look at my bed. This is my bed. This is an example of leather work. This is my bed. It's an example of leather work. Some shoe that you put on, the leather of a wristwatch, the leather that is used for making this watch is gotten from what? For some animal's body. So that's meaning of leather work. All right. We can look at further uses. All right. Some are used as for sporting event. Yes. Animals like horses. Animals like horses, donkeys, bulls, and so on. They are used for what? For sporting events or for sport activities. All right. Animals can also be used for what? For company. That when I say for company, I don't mean industry. I'm talking about as pets. For company, as pets. They can be used as pets. All right. Animals can also be used for what? They can be used as what? For security. As security, that is, e.g. dog. Your dog can be used as security. That is, the dog can take care of a building, of a compound, for securing the home and the compound. And the last one I'll be talking about for today, animals can be for agricultural purposes. For agricultural purposes. For agricultural purposes. For agricultural purposes, and so on. So, we have talked about, let's go back in summary to our lesson for today. We talk about uses of plants and animals under the main topic, living things. Now, the uses of plants include, some plants are used as food for man and animal. I talk about vegetable and food for animal like A. The animal consume. Animal like donkey, they feed on A. Alright, we talk about medical purposes. That is turning some plant into herb or into capsule that we take in to cure some illnesses or diseases. Alright, for ornament and beautification, to make some things to be on our body that beautifies our body. For ecotourism, this is a transport like vacation or holiday for students, and they go on water using canoe and boat. So plants can be caught to make those things. Right. For making of compost manure, I talk about plants decaying. When they decay, they become raw, so decay that they can be used back for planting some crops. Right. For control of erosion. All right, they use it to control erosion. I told you that erosion is what? Is the washing away of the topsoil by some particles. All right, for mulching, for shelter, that is provision of homes. So, our homes, the roof of your building, they use plants to make the wood and then use it to make some construction purposes. All right, we talk about uses of animals. All right, animals can be used for the following: for food. We can eat some animals like, we can eat, cow, ram, goat, and meat, all this. For leather work, I talk about my belt, the leather of my wristwatch, your shoe. Some of them are made from what? Leather of animals. All right, we talk about sporting events. Some of them are used for what? For sport activity like horses, donkeys, bulls, and others. All right, we talk about for company, and some animals can keep your company. For example, as pets, dog can keep a company. Talk about cats. We talk about some other animal like us. For security, dog can serve as security purpose or purposes in homes. All right, we talk about for agricultural purposes. For agricultural purposes, that is some plants, some animals can be used to carry some farm produce from the farmland to the homes. Animals like bull, like donkey, like horses can be used for transporting of farm produce from the farm to the to the home or to the barn. All right, at this point, I'll be leaving with some take home to do. Yes, work to do at home. Work to do. All right. Mention 5 other uses each. Mention 5 other uses each of plant and animal. Now you're going to mention it from your own understanding. Do you not copy what I've given on the whiteboard? Do this on your own. All right, second question. Say what living things are. Say what living things are. That is divine living things. All right. Now, give 10 examples. Give 10 examples of living things. At this point, I will stop the class. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you for this time. You know what I'm going to do now? I will go through the take home again so you can get it done. Mention 5 other uses each of plant and animal. Say living thing. Now, say what living things are. All right. Say what living things are. And the third one, give 10 examples of living things. At this point in junction, I will draw the curtain. Thank you for staying with me. See, I see you in the next class. I am Adedayo. God bless you.